Today we're continuing to profile our local candidates for the upcoming federal election. I'm Todd Lalone. Today I'm joined by the Liberal candidate, Sarah Good. Welcome, Sarah.
Hi, Todd. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you, and you're taking another step not long after your first step into municipal politics.
I am, and I'm excited to do so.
Tell us some of the reasons why Sarah Good wants to become our Member of Parliament.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I had never really seen myself in politics until I entered the sphere of municipal politics. And, you know, like many people have said, you get the taste for it, and all of a sudden you realize, wow, I can impact so much change at these levels, at the government level. So, this is a step obviously in a much higher direction, but one that I think will really still impact the community. People who know me around town know I'm out at all the festivals, all the events, and I really try and participate in the community. But this is a way to impact the legislation and make sure that we're really able to secure those federal funds and help strengthen the riding of SDG.
Now, you led me into my next question. You told us a little bit about Sarah in the political realm.
Yeah.
How about Sarah in the personal realm?
Sure. So, I mean, you know me. So I've been on city council for 2.5 years. Most of my career has been in the nonprofit sector in social services and health. But I've worked all over the place. I've done retail, I've done food service, I've even worked in construction. I'm a mom. I've got a son who's going to be 4 on Friday, and my stepdaughter will be 10 this year. So two kids, one will be entering school and one is well in her elementary school right now. So busy. We've got hockey, we've got, you know, all kinds of activities going on, and very close with my family. That was one of the main reasons why after university I said, you know, rather than settling away in a big city where there might be other opportunities, I really felt it was important for me to be close to my parents, and I managed to lure back at least one of my siblings. So yeah.
Well, that's good, because that person's going to vote.
Oh, absolutely. They vote, they work, they spend their money here. So everybody I can get back here is a good person.
So, Sarah, let's talk about this upcoming federal election. Obviously, this riding for years was Liberal.
Yeah.
Now, for so many years, it's blue, Conservative.
Yeah.
What makes you think you can unseat the incumbent here?
Well, you know, I'm not naive to the challenge that I'm facing. We've had Conservative at the federal level for close to 20 years. And so I know that it's going to be a challenge. I think, however, that, you know, there's advantages that we have. One, we have an incredibly strong leader with Mark Carney, who is in a very short period of time really helped to unify Canadians and I think strengthen the message that we have. You know, the Liberal Party is one that is, I think, quite inclusive. There's a wide umbrella. There's people within the Liberal Party who fall more to the left and people who fall a little more to the right. So I think having that, you know, diversity and that strength and unity within the party is sending a message that's really positive. For better or for worse, you know, the leader of the Conservative Party has been very negative and divisive in the messaging that's been going out. And I think when we've seen how that's played out for the United States, that many Canadians are feeling that's not what we want here. We need to bring people together and not drive us apart.
So, Sarah, when you're on the campaign trail and people are out there talking about your new leader, but the same people in cabinet.
Yeah.
How do you explain that?
Well, I mean, cabinet has changed despite the fact that, of course, you know, the existing MPs are there. We're about to enter an election, so we'll probably see a little bit of a shift there. I think, you know, we've seen he's obviously reduced the cabinet quite significantly by about 1/3. So, you know, it's a small number of people in this, you know, very important time to be able to work through building the platform and focusing on those really key issues that are facing us right now. Sometimes having too many cooks in the kitchen makes things complicated. So I think focusing, having, you know, a smaller cabinet is helping them build the platform and focus on the key issues that matter to Canadians. What I am seeing is, you know, some MPs who had months ago said they weren't going to be running. Now that Carney's here, they're saying, hey, actually, maybe I'm going to stick around for this because I want to be here to represent my constituents. You look at Sean Fraser, who had, you know, said he was going to take time back to be with his family, and I can appreciate that as a mother, and the amount of pressure that you face as a politician. Being a parent is difficult, but when there's this impetus and you see what is the alternative, I think it's important important that, you know, it's a public service. People do this because they care about their community, so that's why I'm doing it.
Excellent. And also, Sarah, when we talk about some of the issues that are near and dear to the viewers, what are a couple that you'd like to point out that people should be looking at when they go to vote?
Absolutely. I mean, housing is a huge one, and very happy about the new announcement that was made this week in regards to actually creating a Crown Corporation that's going to be working to build houses both, you know, in collaboration with the public and private sector to, you know, put out prefab houses. We have that new list of housing designs that have been put out through the CMHC. And so, you know, housing is going to be a massive focus. We know there's a shortage on that. Tariffs, of course, it feels like the most obvious one. We're facing threats that I don't think we ever thought we would be facing from our friends, you know, our friends and oftentimes our family in the United States. We've been so closely tied, especially being a border community. You know, my best friend lives in Messina, and so many of us are like that. So absolutely the tariffs, absolutely the housing, and I think, you know, there's many others, supply management, health, but the list goes on.
And finally, Sarah, here's an opportunity to tell the viewers about why they should vote for Sarah Good, their Liberal candidate.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for asking me that, Todd. You know, my time on council has been such an honor and a privilege, and I think that what I can bring to Ottawa is going to be a strong voice that is level, that is nuanced. I know that I will listen to people, even if they're not the ones who are voting for me. I'm happy to represent all of SDG, and I know I will do so in a very good way.
Talking with Sarah Good, your local Liberal candidate. I'm Todd Alone. You are watching Your Vote here on Your TV.